Okay, we are live, and this is a totally different view. I'm going to shut the door. He's just going to bark. Let's talk. Just talk, Bill.
Okay, she's going to close the door so the dogs don't bark and disturb us, and I'm going to sit here and talk to you all so that you don't get so bored you go away. Okay.
Okay, we're back. All right.
It's not bad.
Bill's laptop was not charged, and we didn't realize that until we sat down to go live. And so we're here. We're back, and I'm going to start with the scripture verse. Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. 1 Peter 4:8. And we hope that you all love us, because this is the reason why we called it News at Noonish. You never know what is going to happen. Stuff happens. And speaking of all that, I wanted to start off a little bit with, I know how a lot of people feel, and we all say it, people say it, and whenever we're talking about somebody, they issued a subpoena, etc., somebody always says it's never going to happen. Nothing's ever going to happen, because we have seen a lot of people get away with things that we think they shouldn't get away with. And what I wanted to say about that is that in scripture, it says there are 3 things that last, which means there are 3 things that go for all eternity: faith, hope, and love. One of those is hope. And we cannot lose our hope. We always have to be people of hope, people of faith, people of love. And I'm trying to practice being those things now, because those 3 things are going to be forever. And even though it seems like this stuff hasn't happened in the past, that doesn't mean it won't happen. And that doesn't mean that people are going to continue to get away with what they have been getting away with. I just wanted us all to have faith, hope, and love. And
when I first started writing, the 2 things that were immutable goals were, 1, I didn't want to write anything that I wouldn't want my children to read, and 2, I didn't want to ever put forth a hopeless situation, we were hopeless in our situation.
And we're not. And as long as there is a God, there is hope, and God is forever. And hello, Happy Cat.
Boy, you can't see him against you.
That's why I said hello, Happy Cat. There's Happy Cat. Oh my goodness. I feel also discombobulated because we had to move out of Bill's office into my office, and my computer is a different setup. But
it worked out fine, and we did it in 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, we did. And we do appreciate you all sticking with us. So we have talked a lot in the past several years about the judicial branch and how so many things have gone wrong with it. And so many judges have made wrong decisions or done things. And I just found this article today which says that there is an undercover video that was shot in Ohio that proves that the immigration courts can be bribed to keep illegals in the United States. And if there's an undercover video of one situation in Ohio, there could be an undercover video in 50 states and all these situations where judges have determined that they rule and they can be bribed.
Yeah, because there's evidence that these lawbreakers pass to one another all the stuff that works and the stuff that doesn't work.
Yes, and unfortunately, the lawbreakers that are doing that. Well, we just recently had that judge who was it Wyoming, who had to resign, or Wisconsin, had to resign because she was on videotape as helping the illegal sneak out the back door from her own courtroom. Yeah. So she resigned.
That was pretty doggone blatant.
Yeah, and I think she was charged. I don't remember the sentence. I don't know if she made sense.
This isn't playtime, Happy.
So, in any case, yeah. So we have all that going on, and that is a battle. We also have, I believe, some of the Supreme Court justices have been compromised. One in particular, John Roberts, perhaps.
No, one in particular, the newest one.
Well, but
she's a numbnuts that doesn't know anything, and I don't know who she's taking her orders from or who's writing her opinions for, but somebody is.
But I also wanted to give numbers to what happens when these people allow these illegal immigrants to stay or to give them a get out of jail free card, whatever you want to call it. And that is that Secretary Noem gave us the numbers just from Minnesota, where she says Governor Walz and Mayor Fry have released, and I guess it's just Minneapolis because Mayor Fry is the mayor of Minneapolis, have released 490 murderers, rapists, and drug traffickers on their streets rather than turn them over to ICE. And so the people who are protesting in Minneapolis are protesting the arrest of murderers, rapists, and drug traffickers. And we've talked about that before, but this is an exact number. 490 people are now out there on the streets to commit more crimes.
To be the foot soldiers in their new army. That's why.
Exactly. And to commit more crimes and to cause more chaos and they don't, look at that, Bill. The governor and the mayor and all these other people, they do not care what happens to their own citizens. And yet their own citizens are helping them in this bid to keep the ICE. So when their citizens are a victim of one of these crimes, will they learn that? I don't want that to happen, but
it's inevitable.
It is inevitable. 490 people. I mean, anything can happen. And that's just one area. That's just one case. That's just Minneapolis. That's not even the whole of the United States. How many people in our whole country have been let out or who have been snuck out the back door or whatever, which is what she did. She snuck him out the back door. I mean, how are you even a judge? But she's resigned. She's no longer a judge, and she's been convicted, and I don't believe she's been sentenced yet. But there's that situation. And speaking of criminals who seem to skirt the law quite effectively, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, James Comer, that was sort of a shocking announcement to me. James Comer revealed that Bill Clinton, I don't know if he himself or his office or whatever, contacted James Comer and said, okay, I will give you a testimony under these circumstances. We meet at my house. You have no reporters. You have no videotape. You have nobody taking notes. It's off the record. And I'll tell you everything you want to know. And I'm sitting there thinking, is he going to bribe him, blackmail him, or is James Comer going to suddenly commit suicide? I mean, I don't know. How many out there would take that meeting with Bill Clinton alone in his house with no witnesses?
Not in a million years.
So James Comer said, I'm not going to play that game. But it reminded me of the tarmac meeting. Do you remember the meeting on the tarmac with Loretta Lynch? And after the meeting on the tarmac, Hillary Clinton was no longer going to be investigated by the DOJ. And Loretta Lynch, in case you don't know, she was the Attorney General of the United States. And
we covered it from one end to the other.
Yeah, and Larry Nichols is the one who said he knew exactly what happened at the meeting on the tarmac because he had been involved in many such meetings at the tarmac. He said Bill Clinton dropped a file folder on the thing, the counter, whatever, wherever they were, and it had all kinds of information in it to scare her enough. We know what it was either that we know what your child did or something, or
Right.
we will, and so that's why Hillary was never prosecuted, because Loretta Lynch wouldn't do that after the meeting on the tarmac, which they claimed they talked about golf and grandchildren, right? Golf and grandchildren, which at the time Bill Clinton had, and still has, I guess, one grandchild, and it was a baby. What are you going to say? I'm sorry, they don't do a whole lot. Just a little. So, in any case, that's just what that reminded me of. And so we have, of course, our president Trump is in Davos, and you have watched the whole thing. And
I watched the entire thing, and I'm going to cut it up, and because it was an hour and 10 minutes long, and I don't want it to be that long. But like with any Trump speech, there's a lot of filler, but there was a lot of non-filler in there too, and he really let them have it. The whole history of how the United States has supported Europe against the Russians, etc., for decades, and United States was paying NATO's bill in its entirety for decades, and just went on and on, stuff I'd never heard before. Trump just let them have it.
And he should have. It's about time somebody did. One of the things that I still remember is Obama's apology tour, and always And, I want to talk a little bit more about Davos in a second, but it just reminded me, just recently, Michelle Obama made an announcement to all of her people that they should not buy clothes from a store that's owned by white people. Now, that's about as racist a statement as you can make. I've always said that Obama was one of the most racist people I'd ever seen. Well, Michelle, apparently, can you imagine if we had said we are not going to buy clothes from any store owned by a black person? I mean, really? And then does that mean you have to go to the website of the store to see who owns it before you? I mean, that's just insane, and it's racist. It's just racist, and it is a stupid thing. And I just wanted to throw that in there because we were talking about Davos. I am very proud of President Trump for speaking up, and you were talking also about Greenland, and the whole situation with that, and he talked a lot about that too. But he talked a lot about Greenland, and he laid out his case.
Yeah, exactly. And he interestingly said he does not intend to use force because he knows he doesn't have to, because he can use economic force.
Well, but speaking of force and using it, I do know that you also did a video earlier about the fact that Reza, is it Reza, the Shah's son?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pahlavi,
was kind of pushing back on President Trump and saying, "Hey, you said you were going to, help us."
We did it in a very polite way, though. Yeah, you said you were going to help, and they're running out of steam. He literally said they're running out of steam, and if you don't do it, it's going to fold. And he wouldn't have said that, I think, if he didn't suspect that Trump is going to do something. He just wanted to get by this Davos thing.
That's what you think he just wants to get by Davos and get that behind him. But I have to say, I have not known President Trump does what he says, and promises made, promises kept. And I'm sure he will. He promised them that help was on the way, and I'm sure he will deliver, because otherwise he just looks like he drew a line in the sand and then didn't pay any attention to it.
Yeah, at a cost of 20,000 Iranian lives. That's why he was looking so upset about 4 days ago.
Well, but you also said that there's the USS Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, that is
strike group.
Right, but it's not in position yet, is it? or it might be.
It will be this evening.
It will be this evening, and then hopefully, because I'll be honest, I'm going to tell President Trump myself. Please, Mr. President, keep your word and take care of the Iranian people. They are exhausted, and they need your help. So
they've been let down by the United States many times in the past, and it's been 47 years now that they've had to live under this mullah hammer.
Well, it has been 47 years, and he is the 47th president, and I find that a little interesting. I don't know. It's coincidental, but it's a little bit interesting, I guess, at least to me. Well, President Trump isn't the only one in Davos from America. Scott Bessent is there, and Gavin Newsom is there. And Gavin Newsom has been making all kinds of wisecracks and disparaging remarks about President Trump. But Scott Bessent, I think, said one of the funniest things that I've heard to come out of there from somebody other than President Trump, and that is, he said he finds it ironic that Gavin Newsom is taking this tone because he thinks Gavin Newsom is the only one in California who knows less about economics than Kamala Harris.
Well, Scott, I could say something about your knowledge of economics too, because you haven't bitten on to the obvious choice, and that is to get out of the debt money system, which you can do with ease, merely by issuing the money of revolutionary America, of the America of Abraham Lincoln's America, and that's the United States note. And for every Federal Reserve note that comes in and you destroy, you issue one United States note, so that the total supply of money is flat. That's all you have to do. And then automatically the national debt goes away, because that debt money, that's what it is. It's what the national debt is. And it just goes away with the normal issuance of the good money.
Well, maybe he'll listen to you. Maybe we can get somehow to get this word out to him. I don't know. We still have some, now I realize they are DVDs and they are old, but we do have some Money Masters, and we have The Secret of Oz. If anyone would like one, they can make a donation to our PayPal account at bhstill@gmail.com, or you can send me an email at thestillreport@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to accommodate you there. So, I'm so discombobulated. I feel like I don't know where I'm sitting, and
well, let me tell you, that Trump speech today was so good, and I'm going to go. Probably it'll take me an hour to cut it up, to cut out the fluff, and because there's plenty of good stuff and stuff that needs to be repeated. He says stuff that he's never said before, at least in the way that he said it, and it just needs to be set in stone.
Right. And Trey Gowdy was interviewed not long ago about Russia collusion, delusion, and all the things that Tulsi Gabbard said. And like a lot of us, Trey was very frustrated. And he said, we knew it at the time. We had all this information at the time. It was all true then. And he said, but it was classified. And of course, they were not able to do anything with it. But
I've got something to say. Somebody on here just made the inane statement, in the meantime, gold and silver is real money. It's no more real money than United States notes. That's just the gold lovers fallacy. And it makes me mad that you keep diverting people's attention with this stupidity.
Well, okay then. So I think that, are there any other comments?
Yes, it's good for investment. It's good for investment, but it's not the money. It's not the coin of the realm. Let's put it that way. You can't take it to the grocery store.
Well, that's true. I would feel kind of silly bringing a gold brick to the grocery store and expecting them.
Yeah, what are they going to do? They're going to set up an assayer's office right there in the grocery store? No.
Well, and somebody says not yet, and I'm wondering, is there such a thing as crypto that connected to gold? No? Okay.
I don't know. I mean, can a grocery store eventually be set up for crypto? Maybe. I mean, it's still, I'm not knowledgeable enough, so I shouldn't be opining on it, but it's still shaky at best as far as for use in everyday money.
Well, speaking of the weather, a lot of places in the South are getting ready to have a lot of inches of snow, 14, 20. I've heard all kinds of different numbers. So if you're going to be affected by that, I just pray that you will be safe. For me, I pray that none of the trees that might have ice on them will wreak havoc on the roofs. And I think that we will have to bring this to a wrap because Happy Cat.
Happy Cat's getting out of control. He wants blood.
Yeah. So, at any rate, I say, God bless President Trump. God bless the United States of America. And God bless every one of you. And thank you for your patience. And thank you for sticking with us today. And tomorrow,
I'll put that Trump thing up in about an hour. So it's 12, it's almost 1 now. So you can count on it by 2.
Yeah. It'll be up on the channel by 2. And then you can also watch the thing about Iran. Hi, Happy Cat. Somebody is a fan.
Somebody said hi to you. They can't even see you. All they can see is a black shadow.
Yeah, and if you
let's see how big this Happy Cat is. He's a big cat.
He is a big cat. He is our biggest cat. He outweighs Bella. It's just who is, I don't know where I don't know where anybody is. We're in a whole different part of the. Anyway, I think it's time for us to say, what does that say?
Carney making deals with Z. How do you know that? I haven't heard that. I'm not doubting it, but I just want to know what the source is. Send me something at stillreport@gmail.com. I'd like to know the details of that.
We have a fat Happy Cat. All black.
Not exactly
no,
fat.
They're saying.
I know.
Okay. All black. And he is a Bombay, even has black whiskers, which I think is funny. Anyway, Benny Johnson. Benny Johnson is a source of, Benny Johnson is a trusted source for information. Wow. We'll have to look into that and see what kind of deals. I wouldn't be at all. I mean, that's not shocking. It's just, oh, well. God bless.
Well, Trump wants to make a deal with everybody. So if he can calm the world down, that's good for him.
Right. But he's saying Carney is making a deal with Xi. So I don't know whether it's behind our back or something is what I guess that was the implication. I don't know.
I don't think he can do anything behind Trump's back.
Well, I guess we'll have to look into that and see. So God bless. We love you. Have a wonderful day and stay warm.